it's Caitlin and Adam. To be our next guest on Enta Ask, click the link below. Enjoy the episode.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Enta Asks. I'm Adam Calzetti.
And I'm Caitlin Bullock.
And we are super excited to have Hartley Harris, president of Catch Engineering, in the studio with us today.
And if you were with us last time, right, Harley, we talked about fishing. Catch Engineering. That's where the name came from. We learned all about it.
Very clever.
Right? And he gave all the secret spots in the last episode. So if you want to know where to go fishing. No, I'm kidding. You got to check it out, though, because I love that story, right? Everybody's got a story to their name. Today, what we're talking about is how this transition that you went through, because you talked about some pretty scary stuff happening when you do a startup. Right? Yeah. But once you started building, you went through another transition and the impact on your culture. So tell us about that transition and why it happened.
So as we talked about how, we started our company and we started hiring employees. And as we grew, you need some of, engineers and designers and drafters and things that make up engineering companies, right? Mm-hmm. And through that, we kept growing larger, and there's new personalities that come into companies and change. The culture of companies is based on the personalities of the people that are there, right? Yeah. So one item that we found was engineers stopped talking to drafters, right? It relies on a communication between the two in order to push designs out and complete jobs. And
so they're just passing red lines back and forth.
Yeah, they'd send them an email, right, across the office, right? And so we were frustrated by this, and we were trying to come up with a clever way, and so we ended up buying scooters for the office. So our office is not a big office, but it's sort of it was a horseshoe at the time. So that to entice people that it was enjoyable to go talk to the drafters or the engineers or somebody else in the office, you got to ride a scooter to do that. And we found that was probably the start of our cultural awareness of what kind of company we want to have, that it's dependent on people enjoying where they are, what they do, interacting with the people that they work with, right? Mm-hmm. That it wasn't, soulless. It was like a family.
You got engineers.
Oh, I know. To
embrace socialization.
So how long before someone said, the scooter needs more power?
How long did you engineer the scooter?
We have had people bring in like push bikes. We had someone bring in a one wheel one time.
Oh, yeah.
And those get, we have had a few incidences that we decided no more motorized vehicles. We had a unicycle in the office for a while, which was a really bad idea.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's not the quickest way to the other side of the office.
Your health and safety department's going, God, please, no.
Yeah, no. No, it wasn't a great idea.
You figured it out, and scooters are
the way. And they've got license plates, flippable license plates for whoever's riding them.
That's hilarious. Yeah. That is amazing. Okay, so you broke down these barriers, and probably without thinking of it as we're going to build a culture, you're starting to build this culture.
Unknowingly to us, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing about culture, right? Sometimes it's kind of a gut feel, right? We need to fix this problem. What seems kind of fun, right? You're not going to sit everybody down and tell them they need to talk to each other, right? Yeah. That's what the government does.
It doesn't work. The government does that for us.
Yeah.
Exactly. So tell me, you guys actually changed the structure and the corporation side of your business.
So as we were growing, we wanted, we got up probably as big as about 80 people.
Wow.
Which for two owners was a lot. And we needed, along that way, we needed structural changes in terms of management of people and departments and whatnot, all the normal company things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So as we continue to grow, we recognized that we wanted to keep certain skills in the company. We wanted to grow out our owner base. So we changed from a corporation to a partnership, which was great on paper, but structurally or culturally, it changed how our company worked. And I don't know if it was because we were a partnership or just the size we were, but it all coalesced around the same time.
Right.
That all of a sudden we were having, that it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same culture we had where people enjoy talking to each other and it's collaborative and whatnot. And it was different.
Changed the whole dynamic.
It changed the whole dynamic.
And meanwhile, you're trying to do the right thing for your business. You're like, okay, we need the partnerships. We're going to get, incentivize people to stay so we keep the skill set. You think you're doing the right thing for your business and for your culture. Yeah. But it didn't do that.
It didn't translate out that way. And, engineers always think that they know how to do everything. And that's how we do. Yeah, right?
Naturally.
So did that translate then into how you were serving your clients and
It affected everything. And some things we could see easier than others. Mm-hmm. And it probably took us a while, maybe a year, to sort of recognize all of those little pieces that had happened.
Right.
That we needed to bring we brought in a consultant to help us recognize where we were strong, like our cultural pieces that had been strong, and where we needed to support them or deal with different issues, right? Like just the issues of growth. And how do you maintain that culture? The fun things that we do at work, right? We used to throw the best parties. We had scooters. People enjoyed coming to work, and they would refer their friends, and it became different. And it didn't stay different for long. I think we
addressed it. I think that, it probably caused some unsettlement in your, within the employees too, right?
It did. And it was in 2012, 13, the economy had picked up again.
Yeah.
We were busy in town, so we were trying to recruit, and you're trying to recruit into a culture that you think you know, but you don't.
Ooh, that's hard.
I know.
Right? Because we do a lot of this cultural stuff too, and it's so interesting when we talk to owners and leaders about what they think their company culture is, and then we get to do our Bedrock for Success program, and we find out what their culture actually is.
Oh, truly. It's different, right?
I love it. It's my favorite part is being like, well, actually.
It was challenging. You're reading this report, and like, we're not that way.
We're not, but
actually we are.
Right? So a couple things impressed me. One, you actually hired a consultant. You didn't think you could do it all as an engineer.
No.
So, wow, good on you, right? And two, you were able to recognize that all these little things were a cultural thing. Because as engineers, we try to fix the process, we try to fix the tools, we try to fix...
It's the bits and pieces. Yeah.
So that impresses me, because for you to step back as an engineer and be like, this is a soft skill thing, and I'm bringing somebody in, that's huge.
Out of my wheelhouse, right? Truly.
But amazing that you embraced that. And then so you literally had to reverse engineer your culture.
Yep.
Tell us about that.
What made us good? When we thought we were awesome, we still think we were awesome, but what changed through that? How did we modify it, or what did we do that caused this undoing of the things that we love about our company, right? And so that probably took a while, and a company is based around the personalities of the people that are there, what you do, the type of work, the stress of the environment, the expectations, like all of these things combine into a ball of yarn that you've got to unwind and figure out what makes you
the trick, right? You're looking for a smoking gun, and there isn't one.
No, there isn't.
There's like 1,000 little things.
Yeah.
No, truly.
And you don't notice that, it could be as simple as, posters on the wall, or
scooters not
like
having lunch, sitting with employees after work. Like it's, it's all those little things. And when you're busy, it's, it's hard to see the forest through the trees, sort of.
Yeah. It is. So tell me one thing you did when you were reverse engineering your culture.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot here.
Well, so I heard that you have this kind of cool avatar machine.
Oh, okay.
Is this true?
Yes, we have. So through our journey, we over time we hire summer students. So we like participating with the universities. We like training people to do things the way that we know how to do them. That's right. So we like recruiting students out of university while they're still in university and just after they graduate. So we run these. I suppose it's a summer. It's not a competition, but it's a project, summer student project.
Okay.
Which sounds a bit like hazing, but they get paid. And so 2 years ago, I think our summer students came up with this idea board of 15 different ideas, and they pitched them all to Chad and I, and at the end, Chad and I got to pick, and the winning one was this video game. I think they recognized that we were Gen Xers and a bit old, and liked old video games.
The old school arcade.
The inner nerd in me. Yeah. And so they built a full stand-up console. Only all the old games are out there. They're you can run them on a chip, board like that. And so they built all the controls. They horsed together this plywood contraption, and built this video game. I think there's 2,000 games in there or something like that. Right? It sits in the office, and people sit there and play it. They also snuck in a drink dispenser.
Oh, no way.
So, like university students, right? So that you can push this button on the side and it will, dispense a drink for you for the loser or the winner, depending on the personalities of them.
That's so funny. Yeah, university mind. I remember the days.
Engineers are innovative, right?
Well, and that really speaks to, we talked about culture, right? Because when you bring in students and you kind of give them some freedom to kind of explore their innovation, like that, that's part of the culture. That helps drive.
And that's why you bring them in, right?
Yeah.
So that you can
energize
and change and affect the people that are already there. That like people don't get stale, but they get into habits of doing certain things, right? And if you throw some new people with new ideas, it just, without changing your culture too much, but improving it, right?
Improving it, or just refreshing it.
Yeah. Right?
It's the same culture, but it's re-energized again. And I like that, because so many times companies bring in these young students with the thinking of, we're going to show them how it's done.
Yeah.
Right? Fit into our processing culture. And then you actually get frustrated when the students are like, well, what about this? Well, what about this? Right? And you're essentially teaching the student to, don't innovate. Don't bring those ideas forward. And it's so disheartening, because these guys are so full of passion, and they'll go spend their spare time building you an avatar game console because they want to.
And mentorship programs are often, the professions all have mentorship programs and whatnot, and they create them as a one-way dialogue, right? That you are teaching that person. But it really is quite reflective in terms of how you grow as an organization, or what they add back to your organization. It's quite invaluable.
Mentorship is two ways. It is two ways.
Well, and it's tough. And I've seen a number of organizations try it in different ways, where they try and match you. They try and, but it just always fizzles. You end up sitting in front of somebody you don't know, and you're like, well, I guess we're doing this now. And
I'm stuck with you. I guess you're stuck with me.
We have nothing in common.
Or it was a little more organic. Like, throw a bunch of people in with a cool idea and see what grows out of it. Like,
we often find, especially interviewing people, they'll come into the office, when times when you could sit together.
That's right.
They'll come into the office, but often we would meet them for lunch or go out for a beer after work. And, we want to see them not in their, sort of their zone. This is what I need to present to them.
Right.
What are you like? How are you around other people? Are we going to get along?
That's
those
so
are
important.
The most important fits for us, right?
Right.
We can train you technically. We can help you to grow those skills, but a cultural fit is probably the most important thing.
Right, and it's funny enough, we don't interview for that.
No, what is it, a checkbox?
Right.
How do you do that?
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
And you can get good at interviewing, right?
Yeah.
You do a bunch of them. You can look like a hero coming in an interview, but so you're taking them out, like you said.
See how ruffle it up a bit. Yeah, see what happens.
Right. I've actually heard of people taking people out for an interview at a restaurant and telling the waiter to bring them the wrong order and see what happens.
Yeah, right? Behavioral interviewing.
Just
right?
I brought a fellow in one time, and I'm like, I'll give you a tour of the office. He's like, yeah, great. Okay, there's your scooter. And we scooted around the office, and he was really uncomfortable about it. Well, it wasn't going to be a fit.
It's not going to be a fit. So go learn how to ride a scooter before you apply for a job.
Yeah, skills.
Learn to fish, and here you go. You're set. That's amazing. So what a journey to be able to reverse engineer culture and tell us the outcome. It worked.
Yeah.
You were able to bring it back into this beautiful thing that you originally created.
As the economy does this, and you're trying to ebb and flow with everything going on.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And what's really cool is you take that innovation you applied to people, right? And you guys also have some really cool projects that you work on for your clients that are...
We do.
Exactly like this kind of thing we're talking about. So next time, stay tuned. We're going to talk about some pretty cool things that... Hartley's into. So
thank you for being on our show, and you need passion to innovate, and you need that. So stay tuned, check us out next time, and if you want to get a hold of Hartley, you're going to go to the website,
catchengineering.com, or you can send an email to info@catchengineering.com.
Excellent. We'll put that information below. Click on it, because these guys sound amazing to work with and for. Sign me up. See you next time.
I hope you enjoyed the episode. Remember, if you know somebody that might want to be on Enta Ask, just click the link below.
And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.